Don't know what I should lower. Think. The headphones. Woo.
Wow, you okay?
Hell, I'm going on. It's hot, right?
No.
Oh. Yo, welcome to another episode and another season
Yeah, it is.
of CO and Rome.
This is CO.
And this is Rome. And this is season number 8. And this is
Episode 84.
episode 85.
Yes. Wow, that's the first time I fuck up.
Yeah. Someone's got to fuck up sometimes. Everyone's got to fuck up sometimes.
Like our fuck up in that promo video.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of, let's just get this out the way. CO and I recorded a promo video to announce season number 8.
Yes.
There's a part of that video where we bump heads and then I'm picking CO up off the floor and all that.
It may look fake, guys. That was so not fake at all.
This whole video was completely unscripted. It was a lot of fun. My head's okay.
Yes.
You fell on the floor. Now, is it because your head hurt that it hit you that hard, or were you just like
It was from a mixture of
laughing?
Yeah, it was a mixture of like uncontrollable laughter, and I couldn't believe that actually happened. Do want to give a quick shout out to Gats for allowing us to use his Immigrant Bread song, which is dope.
Yeah, so if you like that song, check it out. Immigrant Bread by Gats, and that's spelled G-A-T
Money sign.
$. He's definitely on Spotify because that's where I listen to him.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's everywhere else.
right now. I think he's
'Cause he's
everywhere
on
else.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. How you doing?
I think I'm getting sick.
I like this shirt. Is this new?
No, I've worn this before actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been perfect for
This was-
Gasparilla.
I wore this the day that we were supposed to go out, and then you played me and went out with someone else. So that's probably why you don't recognize it.
Well, first of all, I didn't go out with anyone else. I stayed in with someone else. That's most
Same
likely
shit.
what happened.
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago.
That was like 2 months ago.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
Theo.
it was.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
How long have I lived here?
Since November.
Oh, then it was a long time ago.
Jesus. Oh my gosh. But I remember that day because I felt
You're right,
bad
it
about
was.
it for a long time.
Yeah, actually, I have a video. I think it's probably like 4.5, 5 months ago.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jesus.
Wow.
My time is way off. I'm clearly getting old.
Sheesh. Okay.
Blame the sickness.
Let's recap a few things. First of all,
Let's get some topics out the way.
no, I have some shit that's gone down over the past few days.
Oh.
But before we get into that, if you want to get yourself some merch, head on over to afgoclothing.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a hoodie. And if you get something, take a picture, tag us in it.
And the discount code for that is ZionRome15.
And we're still the best podcast of 2019.
Undisputed.
And if you want to dispute it, shoot us an email at zioandrome@gmail.com.
Friend, you are all over the place today. I need you to get it together.
We went to Golden Corral yesterday.
We did. My stomach has not been the same. Good shit.
And I have a question. Is it just me? Or does it seem like when we were kids that going to the buffet was a whole 4-hour ordeal?
Yeah.
Dude, when I go to the buffets now, I'm just like, okay, get me a salad, get me my entree, get my dessert. I'm out of here. I'm in and I'm out. That's what I want to do. But when we were kids, it was like, we're going to the buffet. Eat. Let the food settle. And then nigga, I'm going to need you to go for round 2 because I'm not cooking. Don't ask me for anything to eat for the rest of the night. That's the way my mom ran it.
Yeah. My mom also lined the bottom of her purse to put stuff inside of it before we left.
What kind of stuff would she steal from the buffet?
Sweets, cookies, gummy bears, because there was so many of us. So I think that was her way of what's up?
Yeah, talk more into the mic.
What the fuck? Is it
I'm
really?
just letting you know it doesn't sound clear.
So I forgot what I was saying.
What she used to steal.
Oh,
from
there
the
was so
buffet.
many of us that literally, I think that was the reason why she only went with like sweets. But it was the same thing but your mom probably took you. It was you and your brother.
Yeah.
Like, we're going and it's my teenager, or it's just me and you. So there's no real reason to stay there for hours when you don't have multiple kids to stuff, so that when you get home, you're not feeding anyone. If you get hungry when you get home after a buffet, you're going to make yourself something. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
When you're going with multiple kids, I think it's a little different.
I don't know. I feel like it's a mix of multiple kids and trying to make your money go longer. It's like, we about to go to this buffet. It's all you can eat food. I ain't got money for groceries or whatever the fuck, whatever the excuse is. And it's like, load it up. This is going to be your biggest meal of the week, kids. Load it up.
Damn.
Let's be real.
I get it. I mean, but
I'm not saying that that's what was said. I'm just thinking,
like, if in my mind frame today, if it's I don't have money for groceries, that $40 that you just dropped at the buffet for those multiple kids could have bought you like multiple meals for the household.
well, yeah, obviously.
That's just the way I'm thinking.
But sometimes it be like, kids eat half price off on such and such night.
Yeah.
You were too tired to cook or whatever, you know? I just feel like buffet was like, it was a whole fucking production.
It was a mission. Like, it was yeah, production's a good word,
I guess. Second thing, new discovery. Now, first of all, I just want to tell you this. When I made this note, okay, since I've made this note, you've participated in this shit as well. Also, since I've made this note, I've done it a second time.
Okay.
So this note is very noteworthy.
Mm-hmm.
New discovery. Grocery delivery is awesome.
Yes, it is.
I'm not going to stop.
I may never visit a grocery store again.
So first of all,
maybe.
What's the app called?
Instacart.
Instacart.
Shout out to Instacart.
And first of all, they don't just do groceries. They do liquor too.
So does Uber Eats now. I just want to put that out there.
Yo, I was like, grocery delivery, the fees are probably going to be outrageous. It doesn't make sense. We have 2 grocery stores nearby. It's like, it's stupid, right? And at first, before I did it, it was like, man, am I really on that level? Like, come on. But I don't know what compelled me to do it. I think it's that my friends were doing it. And then when I saw my brother was doing it.
Oh, your brother's doing it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, everyone I know, that somebody is doing this. And I want to be somebody too. Okay. Which means that I must do it now. So when I'm discussing things with my peers, I can be like, yeah, man, grocery delivery is awesome. I don't want to be like, oh, wow, I've never done that. I want to be like, yeah, I love grocery delivery, and just be like, bah, 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 compare notes. I don't want to be the loser amongst my friends.
Because these days, delivery groceries makes
it's a status item.
Yeah, I agree. It builds caliber to your accolades.
It's like, wow, you get your groceries delivered?
Yeah.
Wow.
What a millennial, you.
Oh, you're on it. So I did it, and CO could not believe it. Like, I think he went to the bathroom and then came out and saw me putting away the groceries, and you were like, wow.
That was already fast. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be that fast. Like, I was like, oh, maybe they'll, because I've done the pickup grocery thing where you get your list together and then you set a time and you go pick it up. So I'm thinking delivery, maybe you have to set it like a day before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they're gonna come tomorrow. I come out the bathroom, you're putting groceries away. I'm like, wow.
And then I'm like, it's Friday, just got paid. I could do groceries on Saturday, but I'm thinking like, it's such a busy weekend. I'm like, yo, it takes me 45 minutes to get from work to home. I'm like, if I place my grocery order now, by the time I get home, start doing the dishes, doing some cleaning and stuff, the groceries will come. Like, it'll just be a good fit. Did it again. I go to put groceries away in the fridge. I'm like, oh, CO did groceries. Mm-hmm. Lo and behold, you did groceries, didn't you?
I sure did. I literally did it on Instacart. I was working from home that day, and Friday was a really gloomy, rainy day, and I had things that I already needed to do after work. But I know that I wanted to squeeze groceries doing groceries somewhere in there. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go after work. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then I'm like, damn, I kept running into like, you know, reasons on why certain things were not going to fit well together as far as timing goes. That's gonna be a good clip.
Yeah, I saw a little fly by, and he like, I was like, "What the fuck you doing?"
Like squirrel. There was too many things that were like, this isn't gonna go well timing wise. So I was like, oh wait, I remember that Rome did the delivery thing for groceries. Let me just try it. I reached out to you. I said, what's the name of the app? You said Instacart. I downloaded it. Yo, I literally was like, boom, 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 boom. I was like, then I started to think, I'm such a good-hearted person. Because let me tell you what I'm thinking. It's like already at $100 and something worth of groceries. And I'm like, bendito, like whoever has to bring in these groceries for me. It's raining outside. They're going to be, I'm like, maybe I should keep it at here. I'm thinking I shouldn't order more groceries. What a fucking idiot am I? I could have done more groceries.
You know, you could tip them too if you really felt that way.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
But I'm like, if you feel bad, then you show it in the tip.
Yeah, no, I did. I definitely did. The lady came, delivered it. I'm sending my son out to help her. I'm like, okay, go help her. Put your sandals on. And literally, it was the easiest thing. By the time that my lunch break was over, all my groceries were put away. I literally only had to like do everything else I had planned for that day, and groceries were already out of the fucking list.
And I'm not implying that you didn't tip. What I'm saying is, like, if it's raining and I feel bad, I'm gonna be like, let me slide them a little extra.
Yeah.
Let me slide
Not only did I include a tip on the grocery listing with the app, but like when she got here, I felt bad because I didn't think it was going to be raining as bad as it was, and I gave her an extra tip.
Here's what's so crazy about this whole shit. This sounds like a fucking ad or commercial or some sponsored shit.
No, this is real life.
This is some real life shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all niggas, if you've never done grocery delivery, just try it. What is it? $3.99?
Yes, and if you
plus
want
the app fees, which is like $2.
Yeah, and if you actually end up enjoying it and want to do it like consistently and never want to visit a grocery store again, poor grocery stores. Anywho, you can go get a year membership, I think it is.
Yeah.
And it's $100, and all deliveries unlimited are free of charge.
Yeah. I want to tell you how I leveled up on my second shopping experience.
Okay.
The first one was like, when you think grocery, you think like fruits, vegetables, meat, whatever, food, you know? I was like, fuck that. Toothpaste, pussy soap. But what else did I need? I was like adding shit that I knew I was gonna need, and I was like,
toiletries,
plantains. I'm thinking bodega when I think plantains. I'm like, plantains, anything I need.
Yeah,
it was there.
Yeah,
for me.
Right.
And then the thing I really love, this is gonna be the last shit I say about this shit, right? The thing I love about it is it shows you when shit's on sale. Buy one, get one, all that shit, you still get it. And if like you're buying pasta, it'll be like, yo nigga, this other pasta, different brand, is cheaper. And you're like, yo, let me try this shit instead. It's like so easy.
And it's like Amazon in the aspect of, hey, if you bought pasta noodles, a lot of people buy pasta sauce when they get pasta noodles. Do you want some pasta sauce?
Sorry, I lied. One more thing I'm going to say about this shit.
Okay.
So you got the app on the phone, right? You got the app on the phone. And let's say you're just like in the kitchen. You're like, fuck, I just ran out of pasta sauce, right? You can add to the list throughout the week.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready to like place the order for real, you just place it. But the list is cumulative.
Right.
Over, like, it's fucking genius.
It's like Instacart has an algorithm. It has to.
It's amazing.
Hey, we know that you ordered this last time. Here's something else you may want.
Man, use promo code CO in Rome, even though it doesn't work. I want you to try CO in Rome in the promo code so we can hit up Instacart and be like, yo, all our niggas tried our promo code. Just want you to know we putting them on. Like, give us a promo code for real.
And I don't even want anything from them besides a lifetime free delivery.
I'll take a year.
I'll take a lifetime.
I'll take a year, and then we could discuss a renewal every year after that. Anyway.
Oh, you're nice.
Yeah. Listen. Whew. All right. Let's jump into some topics. You want to go first?
Sure.
Go for it.
All right. This is something that you and I kind of briefly discussed as of this week. But I kind of want to get more feedback on it. Do you believe, can alpha females Would you consider yourself an alpha female?
Very.
Okay. Can alpha females be submissive to their men? And if so, does that make them just alpha to other females in comparison to other females?
I get what you're saying. I feel like if you're an alpha female, you're always going to be an alpha no matter what. You make the elective choice to be submissive, and I don't feel submissive as a person or submissive in a relationship. I feel like it's a very case by case by case. It's like, okay, you know, I can be submissive to this guy because I feel he makes good decisions. I trust him. Ba, 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 ba. But as soon as homeboy fucks up and does some shit that's like coloring out the lines, and the alpha inside of you is like, whoa, 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 whoa. I feel like the alpha is going to come out no matter what, because you're not going to be able to resist like putting in your 2 cents. And I feel like,
do you feel like that can also cause, you know, a rift?
It could, but what I'm learning, you know, because I recently went through something that showed me this, that it's the way in which you communicate that can make the difference. You know what I mean? Me speaking up is not me trying to take control over the situation as an alpha. It's like, wait a minute.
Just trying to be heard.
It's like, yo, wait a minute. I want my voice to be heard. Wait a minute. We missed something here. Wait a minute. Don't think because I'm submissive that my voice doesn't matter type shit. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that anyone said anything like this to me or implied any of this. But what I'm learning is, as an alpha, I've tried to take someone else's lead. But what I've realized that there's certain circumstances where my impulses are like, I don't know. I don't know. So, I know I'm always going to be alpha versus submissive when you're looking at women as a whole. If you had to divide us and put us on a side, yeah. I know I'm always going to be on the alpha side, even if I'm in a submissive in a relationship.
Right.
However, I feel like submissive is a choice, and it's not going to be 100% of the time.
Now,
you can try, but it's not going to be.
I agree with you. I feel like alpha females can choose to be submissive when it comes to a relationship dynamic to their man. But there are women that are naturally submissive, and they're not making that choice. They're just naturally that way. So yeah, I do agree that if divided into 2 categories, there will always be females, that is, there will always be alpha females and submissive females. I think it's harder for alpha females to allow their man to blindly lead them than it would be for a submissive female.
Yo, you know, something just popped in my head. That's so fucking crazy. Like, I just gave myself a mind-blowing moment. Excuse me. So let's say you're an alpha female, strong personality, likes to make decisions, yada, yada, yada. For me to be an alpha female and be so overpowering, like, I'm not naive. I know I'm overwhelming sometimes, okay? I know my place when there is a place, especially if I chose that place. An example of that is the workplace. Now, if I have a manager, I'm going to respect whatever the fuck my manager wants me to do, whatever my manager tells me to do. I'm not afraid to bring ideas to the table. I'm not afraid that when my manager shows up, I'd be like, yo, let me take that off your plate for you. Yo, all this shit you needed done, bum, 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 I got it under control. Why don't you take it easy and I got this. But if she's like, you know what? Actually, I want to do things a little bit differently today. Let's do it this way. And I'm going to be like, you're the boss. Got it. I have no problem. But when we're talking about romantic relationships and knowing your place, I don't feel my places should ever be beneath a man. I should be next to my man.
I think that that's the way that men should think anyways.
Now, I do expect for you to lead, you know, like I would like that, because naturally someone's going to become the leader.
Right. There should always be a leader.
And this whole thing about equally yoked, it's not going to happen all the time. We're talking about skills, abilities, talents, all these different things. Like, it's never going to be apples to apples. You know what I mean? It's unless it just happens that way. But not everyone's going to be equally yoked. But my thing is, like, just focus on what you're good at and figure out roles, this and that, and figure out your place that way. But it's never like you're above me and beneath me, like an example that I gave you where it's manager subordinate type thing.
I just heard of a new term for evenly yoked, and it was divinely balanced.
Whatever.
Okay. On that note,
I think it's cute, but I just feel like everyone's trying to be all like this whole goddess shit. Like it's cool. It's cool, but if you're a goddess, you ain't got to try to be you don't have to try extra by making everything all fancy.
Whatever floats your boat.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but I think when other people say it, I'll be like, oh, cute.
Right. You wouldn't necessarily use it.
Nah.
Got it. All right. That's it. That's all I have for that.
What do you think about this?
I think that like I said, I think that women who tend to be alphas can choose to be submissive to their man, especially when it comes to not wanting to like emasculate a man and have them be, you know, that man that they feel they should be in a relationship. But I do believe that in comparison to other females, there is never going to be a choice of like, oh, I'm gonna let her, unless it's in the situation which you're speaking of, someone who has a title above you and it comes to like making money or like a lane that you have to stay in because it's gonna affect you otherwise, like in the workplace. By all means, yes, I agree to that. But when it comes to like just regular day to day against in comparison to other females, I can't ever choose to let another female be like above me.
I don't care about a female being above me. My thing is that if you're going to try to take the role of being above me, make sure you can be above me.
Right.
You feel me?
It's
like make sure you can actually be above me is all I'm saying. But
you're really aggressive today. It's really scaring me.
No, I had 2 coffees.
It's really scaring me. I will let you be alpha today. Relax.
Let me tell you, I'm so stupid. Okay? Let me tell you, I'm so stupid. I went to Starbucks. And got a grande blonde latte. I've never had that shit before. Okay? I go to the radio station, 88.5 WMNF, Tampa FM. And they're like, yo, such and such coffee place just dropped off iced espresso drinks.
So you had more coffee?
Do you want one? Do you want one? Now, the shit came in a can. And I don't know why, but I always underestimate coffee that comes in a can, okay? As someone said, do you want the caramel espresso drink? And I was like, if I say no, because they brought me 3 cans, okay? And they said, do you want vanilla, caramel, or mocha? And I said, I'll take the caramel.
Why are you crying?
I'll take it.
Why are you crying?
I don't want to cry on my makeup. I'm trying to hold it in. And I'm like, okay. So I popped the can open. It's skinny, like a Red Bull joint.
Right.
And I'm like drinking my coffee and then sipping that at the same time because I'm trying to be nice to the people.
Wait, you were sipping both of them at the same time?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I have not been the same since. I am not myself. I don't know what the fuck. And I've been trying to come down. I thought working out, I'd wear myself out. Had something to eat.
She's like, I need to put something in my stomach.
I came to eat. And I have so much stuff to do. And I'm just like so fucking wired. Okay?
You're okay, listen. I got it. I got it.
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
But before we move on.
All right.
I just want to say thank you for making me more aware. I'm going to pace myself better now. I'm going to try.
Even your eyes, the way you were looking at me, I can't wait for you to like play. You were like that UPS guy on Mad TV where he's like,
yo, this is crazy.
I was like, Jesus.
This shit is crazy.
I was like, if you're trying to prove who the fuck is alpha here, I'm going to let you know you can have it because you were scaring me. Gee, was this all part of the plan? How did you know this was one of my topics?
That's funny. Yo, relationships. This is so important. If you're an alpha female and you're in a relationship with a guy, whether he's alpha, not alpha, whatever, I think it's important to make the conscious decision to not try to run a man. That is one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make, is to treat a man like he's a boy, to treat a man like you're his mother, to treat a man like he needs to be run. Right. Okay. Always ask him if he needs your help and let him make that choice. But to always be assumptive and think, oh, you don't know what that's about and blah, 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 and emasculating them. Mm-hmm. It's just such a terrible feeling for them. And it's just a terrible, nasty behavior to carry out as a woman. That's not nurturing. That's the opposite of nurturing, actually.
Yeah, and I think it's also because, let's be 100, it's men are very, very led by their pride and their ego. So if you take that away from a man, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I want to laugh.
Remember,
oh my Lord.
remember the beginning of the episode?
Yeah, it was like 20 minutes ago.
I was like, are you hot?
Yeah. You're hot again?
No, it's the coffee.
Oh.
It's the coffee. I'm realizing I'm completely off my game because of stupid ass fucking coffee.
I
Sorry.
think that bringing it back, that men are led so much by their ego and pride that if you are ever in like a public setting and you take that from them, I think that that's such a defining moment in a man's mind. Like, even if the man does something, I'm more of the type of female that will be like, oh, this nigga gonna talk to me like this, or he's gonna say this to me. All right, that's cool. Wait until we leave here. Kind of like you do your kids when they act up in public. Not saying that I'm gonna son you when we leave here.
Not just in public or in front of other people.
Right,
you could
just
be in your own
general.
home.
Right,
Yeah.
just in general. Like, I'm not going to be the type of chick that be like, yo, who the fuck you? I'm not sonning you. But when it's just me and you, I'm going to let you know how you address me was not appropriate, and how moving forward we can avoid that.
And I feel like even if you do that in public or in front of people, I'm sorry, I feel like that's like a definite no.
Yeah.
But let's say you have enough sense to not do that in public and in front of people, but you only do it privately behind closed doors. I feel like that's even worse because you're very aware of what you're doing and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this here because no one's here. And I feel like that makes it clear that it's abuse. Like, it's
Oh, you mean from the
abuse.
guy? No, I meant from the female.
No, I mean from the female.
So you're saying only do that behind closed doors?
Yes. What if you only emasculate him behind closed doors?
Oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
as a female,
I see what you're
let's
saying.
say as a female, you have enough sense not to do it in public
Right.
and not to do it in front of people, and then she only does it behind closed doors. That to me signifies that you're very aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're very aware that
You're
it's
making
wrong.
the decision to only do it behind closed doors.
And I feel like either way, it's mentally abusive, but it's even highlighted even more if you know not to do it in front of other people. So it's just like, yo, just staying away from doing it at all. If you're genuinely upset about an issue, be upset, be heard. But
There's
you
ways
don't
to express
have
yourself.
You don't have to tear down someone's character to get your point across.
Absolutely. And I feel like, there's more of a mutual respect when you can say things to each other that causes an understanding rather than conflict. So I think if you can address each other and be like, listen, I didn't appreciate the way that you addressed me. It definitely made me feel some type of way. Moving forward, can we please avoid these types of scenarios or situations?
And then playing devil's advocate, she's a emasculating female. Nigga, what the fuck you talking about, you crybaby ass nigga? I'ma talk to you any kind of way.
Exactly.
Yo, I'm telling you niggas right now, you got a bitch like that in your life, she don't deserve to be in a fucking relationship because she don't have enough respect for you. She ain't gonna have respect for the next nigga unless she change her act. She don't got enough respect for herself. And I feel like people need to have a license to be in a relationship, and if they did, that's when you take it away.
Take it away.
That's when you take it. That's a moment in which you lose your relationship license.
You know, that brings up a really good question too, because do you think that old school dudes in comparison to new school dudes had more pride when it comes to being that man? Do you feel like it's more the older generation or the newer generation?
Oh man, that's so weird. I feel like older guys definitely have the benefit, if we look at it as a benefit, as a plus, right? I feel like older men were raised in a generation where they were fed the thought that this is what it means to be a man. Newer generations, some of them are still raised by because their dad did it or because their mom told them, like, yo, a man is supposed to do A, B, C, and X, Y, Z.
Right.
Now, we were just talking about status and shit with the groceries or whatever. I feel like younger guys kind of look at it as a status piece because they like bragging to the homies like, yo, I pay for my girl to go get her nails done, or yo, I pay the bills and she does this and that. And I feel like there's a new interesting spin on it. It's not as common, but for the guys in their 20s that I see that are taking on these provider roles, they brag about it. And I feel like that's a cool thing to brag about it. But if you're a provider, but then you're a shitty husband or a shitty boyfriend or whatever, it's like you shouldn't be bragging about it. So that's the very interesting spin. And I'm sure old school cats, they probably brag about it too. But back then it was more expected, where now it seems more elective.
Yeah. No,
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. I definitely don't think it's a dead concept.
Yeah, no, I think that concept still very much exists. I just don't like the concept, which we've spoken about before, of this societal pressure of like, don't be emotional.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I think it's cool to be emotional. And I'm not even going to sit here and give advice on how someone should express themselves if they feel emotional, whether they're male or female or whatever. Here's what I will say about emotions, and it's something I've been challenging myself to do. Try to avoid having deep conversations or important conversations when you're in a very crazy emotional state. Take time for yourself to really understand your thoughts and your feelings before having deep conversations. There's always conversations that are going to happen in the root of the moment, but if you have an opportunity to kind of take a step back from it and revisit, capitalize on that opportunity.
I agree.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So, accountability. CO, you brought to my attention that I'm being kind of crazy, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome. That's what friends do.
And I'm going to kind of try to hold myself accountable to reel it in.
Okay.
And to be regular. It's going to be hard, but I'm trying. If anyone has advice on how to battle caffeine, like being overly caffeinated, please send me a DM. Anyway, I have a question. If you're a mother and you've had a lot of cosmetic surgery done, do you feel a social responsibility to be honest and tell your children at some point or another in their lifetime about the work that you've had done?
It depends on the scenario. So I don't think that your children need to know everything you've done in your lifetime. I don't think that that's necessary. I think that when it becomes a topic of relatability, then you can use those events to have conversations and probably help with a lesson, because people do prefer, for the children or not, do understand things more, I think, when you're saying, oh, I know what you're going through because I've experienced this as well, or I've been through this as well. So I think that if, let's say I have a daughter and my daughter is living in the society in which we live now, which everything is wanting to be enhanced and you want to look like this way in comparison to your natural self, etc., etc., and I have had work done in my past, then I can sit with her and kind of build some sort of conversation from that. Listen, I'm not completely against it. There is a fine line, though, of wanting to feel better about yourself and just completely going off the ledge and just getting all types of shit done, and it can become obsessive. So you have to be you have to mentally prepare yourself to know that I'm going to do this and not let it consume you to the point where you want to change everything. I think in those type of scenarios, yeah, they should know. But if my little nigga or my little girl don't want to, no, I don't have to tell you anything.
Interesting. All right, I don't have a clear answer to this, but I have a lot of thoughts.
Okay.
First of all, let me just bring this little tidbit up. Tammy Roman, which isn't what inspired this conversation, it's just coincidental that she recently posted this Mod Podge of pictures of her from past to present because her birthday just passed.
Okay.
The very first photo in this like slideshow, she had a different nose, like so different that it was like, wow, who's that? It was her.
So my contour will do that too, though.
Nah, bruh. Nah,
Okay.
bruh. Check it
I
out.
don't know. I haven't seen it, but
Check it
I'll
out,
check
and
it
then
out.
let
You
me
can
know.
continue talking.
Let me know, B.
right.
Now, here's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
You have daughters, and let's say they come out with your birth nose, right?
Okay.
And then they start to become of a certain age, and they're like, Mom, I hate my nose. And you once hated your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Are you then going to say, you know what, sweetie, once you turn 16 or once you're a little bit older, if you want to get a nose job, I got you. You know what I mean? I feel like, I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, but I feel because Mom had a hard time embracing her nose, now she's a proponent in the conversation of, if you don't like it, change it, versus if, you know, you should love yourself the way you are. And if that's, I don't feel like there's an issue with either side of it, but I feel like it can be passed down from generation to generation. My mama didn't like her nose. I didn't like my nose. You don't like your nose.
Hence
and
why
this is what we do. We all get nose jobs now.
Yeah.
Who breaks the cycle and says, embrace and love the nose in which God gaveth?
But wouldn't you then be a hypocrite if sometime down the line your child finds out that you had a nose job because she looks at old pictures?
So because someone's afraid to be a hypocrite, we're just going to keep the message going. I feel
No,
like
I don't. That's why I'm saying that I don't think that you should let your kids know unless a conversation arises.
that's what I'm saying. If your daughter tells you, I hate my nose.
I understand where I hated my nose too.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a beautiful nose. However, if it's something that you want to change, I'm not going to say that I want you to change everything about yourself because I find you to be beautiful. But I understand. So if that's something that you want to do, let's go look at some things together. Still be a mom in the situation.
Yeah. And I think that supports the point that I'm making, which is like, we're having a conversation about like, if you want to get cosmetic surgery like I did, boom, I support that, versus like, hey, don't be like me. If you can love and embrace the nose that you're in, that would be ideal. But if it comes down to a point where you can embrace who you are, then we get the nose job. I feel like that conversation doesn't happen. And again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just think it's an interesting thing. I was with a friend actually when I took a trip. He and I were watching some documentary about some football players that were going from high school to college or whatever. And when they were filming like his home life, you could tell everyone in the family has had plastic surgery, including the daughter, who was probably like 17 years old. And I'm like, of course, like they're saying it's okay because they've had it done themselves or whatever. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I just find it interesting, maybe because it's so different than what I grew up with. I don't know. I can't imagine having a face that's different from the one that I have now, you know? So I'm trying not to be judgmental, but I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I think it's a prime example, though, of what we speak about, which is becoming a product of your environment. You know what you know and what you're surrounded with. So
what really made me want to bring this question up, though, is that there's this YouTuber and she's had a lot of work done to her body. And at first I was like, you know what? She lost a lot of weight. So I can understand why she got the tummy tuck. And I can understand why she got the boob job, because her boobs are probably saggy. And then she recently got a Brazilian butt lift and all these things. And I'm like, okay, this is starting to take an extra turn or whatever. And I'm not here to say what she should and shouldn't do, but I know she has 2 small children, a boy and a girl. And I'm like, you know what? Does the little girl now want to be like mommy when she sees these changes? And then the little boy, does he then find
only
himself
look for girls that
more
are
attractive to modified body types versus natural body types? And I'm thinking to myself, like, if I were to get work done, do I feel a social responsibility to make sure my children are aware of what's going on? Or do I just let them think like mommy's picture perfect body, this is natural, and then just I feel like either way I'm skewing the view of what natural beauty is. And I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where it's like we can't be held responsible for teaching every lesson in life, but I don't know.
And I think as a parent, you know what's best for your children. I mean, that's just naturally, well, some parents, I think that's just naturally there. If you feel like your children knowing before they even ask is the right thing for you to do as a parent, then by all means, that's what you're going to do. And you're going to know and understand how to approach it. And, you know, on the other side of things as well, if you feel like you should only speak to your children when a situation arises, you're going to know that as well.
I feel that, and I hope this is what everyone's gathering as we talk through this. I'm neither here nor there with it. I don't know what the right answer. I feel like by disclosing it to my kids, I might be promoting the thought of plastic surgery. And I feel like by hiding it from them, that I'm creating a false sense of reality in terms of beauty standards. So I feel like either way, it has its ups or downs. There's no right or wrong way to go about it. And I think you're absolutely right. It's a judgment call you have to make as a parent in terms of determining what's best for your child.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
all you can do.
You know your kids better than anyone else. So at the end of the day, no one's outside perspective or opinion should alter that.
Right. That's right. What else you got?
So you and I briefly discussed this, and because you're such an alpha female, you forced me to write it as one of my notes. So
wow. Make a note.
If girls are reckless by the way they behave and act, does that make it their fault when a man chooses to disrespect them? And it was because we were watching something where a girl was acting completely reckless, being like really, really aggressive. I guess she thought she was an alpha female too, in comparison to this man. And the man was just kind of like going off the ledge. And it was just like, does that make it okay for a man to disrespect a female by the way that she's choosing to act in a specific scenario?
I'm trying to remember the moment, what we were watching. Mm-hmm. It's completely left me, but just taking the way you just explained it now, I don't know. I think that it's the nature of the beast type thing. I think that if a guy is dealing with a female that's a little more subdued, he doesn't have to come at her with force. He can use his words and say, hey.
Yeah, but words can still be disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't feel anything warrants disrespect. I don't feel anything warrants disrespect, but if a chick is disrespectful to a dude and then the dude decides to be disrespectful back, I'm like, cause and effect. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like if a guy can be tough enough to not take it to that level, then like, yeah, hold yourself accountable. Just because she was reckless doesn't give you the right or the permit to do that.
Right, because we have discussed that sometimes men cross lines as far as when it comes to assault because they feel that a woman dressing a specific way warrants them to approach them in a certain way. So I'm kind of like stuck in this space when it comes to like behavior.
I feel like I want to hold myself accountable for everything that I say here. So do you have an example of something so I can better answer the question?
As far as like disrespect?
Yeah, just like an example of a scenario.
Okay, so let's say that a guy is across in a restaurant on another table. This actually happened. So basically, the new Real World. No, it wasn't Real World. It was like the variant Jersey Shore thing, but for Florida. What was it called?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know. But there was a guy at another table and he was like, where the hoes at? Because there was so many cameras around them. So the shorty got up and she was just like, who are you talking to? What are you talking about? Because there's no hoes at this table. And he was like, you need to get out of my face. You need to get out of my face. So the people that she was sitting on the table with literally was like throwing crackers at the guy and like hitting him. So she got up in the dude's face and she's like pointing in his face, whatever. So he pushed her. Does her behavior of being in his face warrant him to push her? Or does him calling them hoes warrant her behavior to get in his face?
I don't think him saying where the hoes at warranted her to respond to that at all. If you're not a hoe, then why did you feel the need to
even
interject?
If it was directed at you, regardless, you feel like, oh, just because I'm not a hoe doesn't mean I should behave, react.
If it was directed her way and she felt the need to address it, she could have addressed it in a way without being so reckless, like you said. Now she's reckless. She's going over there. Now the situation's getting escalated beyond necessary measures. Okay. Right. I feel that someone could have walked away from the situation. They both chose not to. So I feel like both of them are at fault. But I feel that no one should have put hands on anyone as a result of this. I feel, to answer the question, her acting the way she acted, that warrant him putting the hands on her and responding the way he did, not necessarily. But it sounds like they were both in the wrong.
So you feel like some situations can just be a ripple effect. It's like one
this example, definitely. I feel like they were both being morons. both of them.
I feel like no matter how someone behaves, it's true. Like what you're saying, it's no matter how someone behaves, how they carry themselves, whether it's the way you're dressed, whether the way you're behaving, someone should always have the thought that I'm just going to walk away from this. I'm not saying that you should feel like a pussy by doing so. You should always defend yourself if you feel like it's a life-threatening situation.
Yeah.
But I think that it's smart to realize, you know what? I don't need to engage in this. I don't need to engage in this at all and make the decision to walk away.
This is actually a really good segue to a question that I have, which is one of the topics. This one is inspired by the Remy Ma story where she allegedly punched Brittany Taylor in the eye. And Brittany Taylor went on social media. She has a black eye. She's like, Remy, the real question is, Remy Ma, why did you do this? Now, the backstory is that both these ladies are on Love and Hip Hop New York. Brittany Taylor was super annoying and disrespectful to Remy Ma a lot of the time, in my opinion, from what I watched. So something went down recently where they were at the same place. The chick got a black eye and is claiming Remy Ma did it. Okay. Now, my question
does look like the bitch that would put somebody in the face.
I feel like it takes her a lot to get there these days.
Right.
Because she's not that chick anymore. Okay, dogs. Sorry, guys.
Bronx.
All right. So my question for everyone is, how do you know when it's okay to punch someone in the eye? How do you know when it's okay to put hands on someone?
I've never put my hands on anyone first.
I've never put your hands on anyone first.
I'm lying. I have. But it was like, hold on. It was because I was young. Okay. And it was because I felt like it was against someone that wasn't able to defend themselves.
Okay.
So I stood up for said person and put my hands on someone first.
Do you feel that it was the right thing to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Just because the person had disabilities and they were being, fucked with. And I was like, that's not right. If I had a family member that had disabilities and this fucking clown was doing something to them, I would want someone to help. I would want someone to do something.
Was that person being physical with the defenseless person?
No, they were being verbally abusive.
But you feel that what you did was right. So my question
I was 17.
Okay. Today, do you feel you did the right thing?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, how do you know when it's the right time to punch someone in the eye?
I think you have that internal feeling. And my alpha female said it's time to push this bitch off the fucking bleachers. And so I did.
I agree with this.
Come on. You would have done the same at 17.
I feel on paper. I feel like even at this age,
I would have still pushed her off the bleachers.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you for being transparent.
Yeah, I would have still done it.
I feel everyone has this thing inside
that
it's like, okay, it's time to punch a nigga in the eye.
Right. That's like far off, though.
Okay. So, but on paper, okay?
Yeah, you know it.
You shouldn't have to put your hands on anyone ever unless it's in self-defense. If someone hits you first and that's like, okay, like, let them have it. But you should never just have a disagreement, then all of a sudden just turn into putting your hands on someone. But there are some rare instances where it's like, okay, I got to put my hands on a nigga so they know to stop fucking with me, stop fucking with this person, just stop. And I don't know how to describe the situations that are appropriate, but there's something inside of you that's just like, nigga,
this is the time.
Now is the time. It's worth risking your freedom.
Yes.
To save, to just, I feel like when you explain this to a cop, okay, this is perfect. This is how you know when it's okay to punch someone. That when the cops come and you have to explain to them what happened and why you put your hands on someone, that the cop's going to be like,
I get it.
Yeah. If the cop can say, I get it, but technically you still broke the law, so I have to arrest you. But I get and understand why you were provoked and felt the need to do this.
Yes.
That's when it's okay.
But how do you describe that feeling? Because the best way that I can describe it is a heat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
It's like heat that rises from my feet all the way up. And the more...
I feel like mine comes from my heart.
And it keeps coming up. And the more it gets closer to my face, the closer it is for me to fucking... Yes.
So yours goes from feet to face?
That's why I'm so patient, I think.
Wow. Mine goes from heart to fist.
Oh, Lord. See, that's a shortest span. See? That's the shortest span. Mine keeps rising. And if I can push it down it's like, okay, it's not even worth it. Just walk away. But once it starts reaching like my neck area, I'm like, I'm about to knock a bitch out.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Patience.
Feet to face.
Patience.
Bro, mine comes from heart. You know what I mean? Like, yo, nigga got heart. Like, that's how I feel. It comes from heart to like torso, middle torso.
Yeah.
And it just like goes out to the arms. And when my hands are shaking, that's when I'm like, it's gotta come out.
Yeah.
It's gotta come out.
And
it's
that
gotta
explains why my feet always shake first, because it's coming from my feet.
No way.
No, I swear, like I start doing like the leg thing and like my feet start switching and I'm like, oh, I'm about to fuck this bitch up.
Really?
Yes.
We are so different because when I know I'm about to fight, I think of my trees like they're the roots into the ground, meaning like I got to make sure that in this fight I'm balanced and that I'm not going to fall down and I'm not going to fall over. And my dad always taught me that when you fight, the power needs to come from your core, not from your arms, because this is like boxer talk. Because if it's coming from your arms, you're all over
You're
the
not
place.
doing anything.
Nah, but if you're coming from like
Core. Yeah.
what? Nigga, I'm fucking your life up.
Yeah.
Just know that.
And I also know, like you brought up the whole cop thing, I also know when I am in every right within my own morals of beating a bitch up, because I like, it's kind of like when you get called down to the principal's office. Well, during your walk down to the principal's office, you already have the whole story in your mind of what you're going to tell the principal.
Yeah.
That's the same way I work when it comes to the situations
And
of what I'm going to do with the cops.
even better.
It's
and
like,
if it's the truth, you ain't have to make up a finagle
exactly.
no
But
lie.
I can still have my explanation prepared. Like I'll be like, I'm about to beat this bitch, and if they call the cops, I'm just gonna tell the cops the truth, which is blah 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 blah. If I've already thought about that in my mind, I feel in every right that it is okay for me to knock this bitch out.
Yeah. So I feel like the combo is when you feel the fire from the feet or the heart reach the other end of extremity. So for me, it's heart to fist. Mm-hmm. For you, it's feet to head. Mm-hmm. With a combination of proper moral and ethical codes.
Yes.
I feel like this is when you know it's time to punch a nigga in the eye.
Yeah. Bars.
I mean, me, I'm more like punching them to the gut. Like, because it's like, okay, you're going to bend over and be like, whoo. And then you're going to know I'm not fucking around. And then I'm going to see if you want some more. I'm going to be like, oh, are we doing this? Is this a fight, or is this me just hitting you and you're going to stop? Because I feel like you have to make that assessment too. You have to be responsible with your weapon of choice. And if that's fist, you got to be like, hey, maybe I just hit them once and this ends, right?
Yeah, but sometimes I've told bitches to hit me.
Hit me! Yeah. No, but in the event that you're hitting them first, don't you feel like you have to hit and then pause?
Oh, for sure, because I need to know how much damage I have
educating
done.
the youth. We got to educate them right.
Yeah, I have to understand what type of damage I've done and if I need to do anything further or just let them be, because I don't want to kill somebody.
So it's the
right?
punch and chill.
Yeah, it's the punch. Take a step back, see what's going on. Now, if you see these motherfuckers coming at you
and they want it.
Hey, listen. You said alpha what?
Yeah.
All of that.
Well, I don't know how I feel about what we're encouraging, but I feel like it's very real.
All we're encouraging is self-defense and morals. If you feel like
moral defense.
Yeah, like
we're defending the morals.
Yeah, ethically, if you feel that something is wrong with whatever situation you find yourself in, you are in every right to stand up for yourself, regardless of how you choose to do that, whether it be verbally, whether it be physically, whatever it may be. As long as you feel like you are standing up for yourself, morals and all, I think that you're doing the right thing.
Well said.
Thanks.
What else do you have?
I have one more thing.
Me too.
Yay. All right. We've discussed this a little bit in the past, but I just added a little extra question at the end.
Okay.
Are funny girls like yourself and I?
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah. Are funny girls more attractive to guys, or does their goofiness automatically simply make them one of the homies?
It depends. So, first of all, not all guys have a sense of humor. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. But I feel like there's a way to balance the comedy with romance, the comedy with sexiness. I feel like there's different styles of comedy as well. Sometimes it can be vulgar. Sometimes it could be cheesy, witty jokes or whatever. So I feel like it depends. there should be a balance. If you want someone to love you and bring you home to their mother or whatever the case is, you can't be the class clown all the time. But I feel like if you have this masculine energy associated with your comedic style, which I can tend to be that way.
I feel like me too, though.
Yeah, I just feel like you can easily be put in the homie category. And I think the way you look adds to this too, unfortunately.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I can see some girls that are so, so pretty. And for example, me, like, I feel... Wait, that sounded wrong.
I immediately
that sounded wrong. Like, I went from one thought to another.
Okay.
But okay, so delete.
For example, me.
No, my type of comedy is basically what I was trying to say. My type of being comical is like making crazy faces when it comes to my expressions on conversations or things like that. So my thing is like, someone can look at me and be like, oh my God, she's a pretty girl. But then all of a sudden I'm trying to be funny and I make a face and it's like a weird ass Jim Carrey type of face. And they're like, whoa, wait a second. I take it back. Maybe she's not as cute as I thought.
I feel like for me, because I know how extreme I can get with my comedy, I feel like if I'm dating someone or seeing someone and they don't know me well enough yet, because I feel like for you to be put in the homie category, that's something that's determined pretty early in the relationship, right?
Kind of.
I feel like you don't really start off as a romantic interest and then get turned into a homie unless you guys realize you don't click.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, let's say you're meeting someone for the first time, you're in a group setting and the guy automatically sees you walk in, and because guys tend to be visual creatures, they'll be like, damn, she's cute. Yeah. I'm gonna try and holler at that at some point throughout the night.
Right.
Then he sees you interacting with everyone. You're being goofy, silly, your normal self, and all of a sudden he's like, I can't really. So
that's my point. Being that it does, a guy can determine up front based off your personality if he's going to friend zone you or not. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's important to kind of ease into the funny if you know your funny can be super extreme. Let a little bit of that shine in the beginning when you're meeting someone, but don't bring out the big guns until you know you got them on the hook. That's my advice.
I got it. So basically you're catfishing them.
Yes.
Got it.
I'm catfishing you by
my humor,
letting you think I'm less funny and extreme that I actually am.
Got it.
And you can thank me later.
You're funny fishing.
I'm funny fishing you.
Got it.
I'm funny fishing you. But, you know, there's no greater compliment than when a guy's actually into me because he likes me as a person. And then he also says, babe, you're so funny. Like when I hear a guy tell me that and I know he still wants to like fuck the shit out of me, I'm like, this is perfect.
You know what I love? When you and the person that you're choosing to kind of, share your time with and be in a relationship with or not, have the same level of funny. Because now you're just bouncing off of each other. And like, that's awesome. Yeah. Like there's been moments where like, I've dealt with people that are funny and like, I want to be mad at you. I don't want to laugh at your jokes. But there is just something that's so funny about what you just said. I'll literally turn my face and like laugh to myself.
No, you look at them angry like this and you're like, that was good. That was good.
I'm gonna laugh about it later, but not right now.
I'm mad, but I gotta give credit where it's due.
Yes.
And if
I love that.
That was good. If I weren't so mad, I would actually laugh right now. In fact, I'm gonna use that.
I like funny feeding off of each other.
Yeah.
That's the best funny to me.
Yeah. You know, I think we do that with each other. You know what?
Sure.
You know what I love about the fact we're doing video now? I love that people are getting a sneak peek at like real shit that like actually happens.
Like our dog's acting a fucking mess this episode.
Yeah. Or that shit with us bumping heads on the video. Like, I'm so glad that was caught on camera because there's a lot of weird shit that happens all the time.
Yeah. So. And I think that even when we build scenarios, when we're like, you know what would be funny, or you know this, or you know, like, I think that you'll say something and then I'll like amp that up and then you'll amp that up. And like, now we're building scenarios in each other within each other.
And then we're not little bitches, because I feel like if it were anyone else and they would have, let's say if it was like a real life commercial, like on a set, and they would have bumped heads, like it would have been like, stop the presses, cut and all that. And we're like keeping it going, making the best out of it, like keeping it rolling. So I think that both of us feeding off of each other, I think creates that magic.
Do you feel like that's because we are both alphas?
No, I think it's because we both know each other so well that we feel comfortable doing what we do.
Yeah.
And I think that we both have a certain level of self-confidence about ourselves that allows us to keep going.
So it's not just knowing each other, but just knowing ourselves enough to know that like, listen, Keep it moving.
And we're both so creative, and we know how funny this shit's gonna be. That we're like,
this is good stuff. Yeah.
This is good.
Got it.
This is good.
That's all I have.
All right. So I just have a rant about health, and I just want to say it's allergy season, and every time it's allergy season, sometimes I'm like, I don't know, like I feel it, I don't feel it, and if I do feel it, it's something different every time. I'm definitely feeling it this allergy season.
Yeah.
I can't breathe at night. I cannot sleep. I'm getting sinus headaches, and the shit just sucks. It's like my nose. It's like I'm in a prison inside of my own nose.
It's you're a prison inside of your own home.
It's like I am the little Mucinex guy stuck up in my own nose. Like I see a small version of myself inside of my nose that's trying to get out of all the fucking snot. I'm trying to understand like why the fuck this is happening to me, why it's never happened before. And then I have to educate myself on what to do because I'm like, Benadryl's going to put me to sleep. I thought I had a cold. I thought something else was happening. And I'm like, it might be allergies. So I go to fucking Walgreens and Zyrtec is 50 something fucking dollars. Okay.
Damn.
Sometimes it's on sale for $35 and knockoff is still 20, 30 something dollars. And
ridiculous.
I'm like, this shit must work because it's expensive.
And they also know so many people are becoming allergic.
I just want to say that this fucking Walgreens version of Claritin was $10 and some change, and it said non-drowsy, and it even says on the box 10 days of relief. So I gotta pay $1 a day so I can fucking not breathe, because first of all, I can't even really breathe. I can't even smell, but at least I can function, and I don't feel like I'm dying inside of my own nose. I'm functional right now. But this shit is taking over my life and who I am as a person. And if it weren't for the knockoff Claritin that I took this morning and the Vicks nasal spray, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. This is a crime. And if taking care of the planet means that I can breathe, then I'm about to jump on that fucking bandwagon.
I told you.
Finally. I didn't know air pollution meant this.
Yeah.
But now that I know, I'm with Jason Momoa shaving off his beard and drinking canned water and whatever the fuck he's doing. I'm with Little Dicky and his 30-something people featured on his new song talking about treat the planet better, where Justin Bieber is a fucking orangutan with a big anus and the whole... You haven't heard?
No.
Little Dicky came out with a new Treat the Planet Good song.
I didn't see the Justin Bieber anus thing.
He says, hi, I'm an orangutan and I'm just like a human except I have a big anus or something. I think that's what it said via the Breakfast Club. That's what I gathered today. But the point is, if all this shit means take care of the planet so I don't have to be in pain acting like I can't breathe, then yes. What do you need me to do? Stop. You want me to stop using plastic? Because that's what they're saying now.
Yeah.
Stop using. I thought recycling plastic was good enough. But now we have to stop using plastic. Well, damn it. I'm willing to accept that challenge. Cause
no straws.
I hate paper straws. I'd rather drink straight out the cup. But just
get metal straws that you can clean.
That's fine. I just want to breathe through my fucking nose. Give me my nose back.
You still have your nose?
No, my nose. My nose works. This nose don't work. This is not my fucking nose. I want my regular nose back. And I'm sick of it.
I think you just mean nasal passages, but I understand.
Whatever. Like, just give it back to me. I want my old nose back.
And the earth is saying, I want my land back.
What do I
the
have
Native
to
Americans.
do? I have to set houses on fire? What do I need to do?
What?
So that it can be just land and plant some trees?
Like, I think that smoke may also
what do I need
pollution.
to do? Do I need to grow collard greens in the backyard? What do I need to do?
We'll figure it out.
Do I need to start an herb garden?
We can.
Is that what I need to do?
Perhaps.
And then the stupid ass pollen tracker app tells me, oh, today's going to be low pollen. You're going to be able to breathe. No, I couldn't breathe.
You are a damn liar.
And if anyone else can relate to what I'm saying, just put a fist emoji under my next post, letting me know that you feel my pain, because this is some bullshit. And for those of you allergy sufferers that go through this every year,
I'm sorry.
You're in my thoughts and my prayers, because this is fucking stupid.
See, if it takes self experience to decide what you should do to benefit planet Earth, Mother Nature, then by all means.
Yo, that's it. No more plastic straws. And then watch me be able to breathe. And no, you know what? 30 days, no plastic straws. I'm gonna
30 days.
It's a starting point. CEO.
Okay,
it's a starting point. You know, I almost was starting to wonder if I suddenly became allergic to dogs, because I couldn't make sense of this. Is this how people feel when they're allergic to animals?
I don't know. Now, if you were allergic to dogs, though, because you love because you love Jack so much, would you get rid of him?
Oh my gosh, I thought about that.
Either live like this every day for the rest of his life, or get rid of Jax.
Oh man, I thought about that. I was like, man, what if I'm allergic to dogs? What would I do about my baby? And I'm like, you know what? His life is not going to be that long. It may be 15 to 18 years.
That's still 15 years from now.
And I'm like, I will explore options in which we can cohabitate, but before I jump to having to give him away. But if it gets to a point where I can't manage it and there's no other choice and I have to give him away, I got to do what's right for me. But I'm going to try to figure out a way that I don't have to get rid of him, because I love him so much.
Wow.
I love him so. I'm not going to jump straight to see you later.
You're just going to thug it out for a while until you
I'm
can't
gonna
thug
be like,
it out anymore.
what can I do? I'm going to go to an allergist. I'm going to be like, I love my dog. What can I do? He's like my son. What can I do?
Got it.
Anyway. Wow. 8 seasons of this shit, huh?
8 seasons of this shit. I really, 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 really love that we still have shit to talk about. 8 seasons in.
85 episodes.
85 episodes. A year and a half, soon to be 2 years.
Yeah.
In the game. We have to start planning for that as well.
Yeah. And I want to give a major shout out to Zay and Serge with Fresh Room Podcast. They've introduced us to some cool people in a really nice little space in Channelside that I would like to kind of keep an eye on.
Yes.
I want to see other events there, maybe attend and see the feel of it. And if we like it, maybe we'll host something there. Season 8, we're doing things bigger and better, guys.
Clearly. So yeah, I agree to that, and I think that our dogs are ready for us to wrap this up. So you guys comment, give us feedback, stay tuned for all the craziness, as you can tell.
Yeah, and thanks for hanging in with us. And for those of you who are new, thanks for checking us out. All of you, if you could please share this and tell someone you know that you think. Tell someone.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
If you know someone that you think would like this, like, tell them about us. We trying to grow out here. You feel me?
Our dogs are also trying to figure out who the fuck is alpha here. We still don't know. Stay tuned, guys.
We'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.